Oh my god. That is fun. Welcome back to another Logan's Vlogs and Cars. I am sorry, my hair looks like shit. I literally woke up a few hours ago and now I'm returning the car. And that's the theme of today's video. I am returning, as you guys seen in my last video, my Turo's rental car after having 4 days with it. And I want to talk about it. I want to summarize what it's like to own this car, because this is my first time getting an idea of what it's like to own a Tesla. I drove it 700 miles in the span of 4 days on a road trip to St. Augustine. It was an amazing, fun time. Me and my buddy Noah made a lot of memories I'm gonna forever remember, and I had such a great time. But I want to talk about this car because I've been living with this car for 4 days now, and I've been getting a feel for what it's like to own this car. And what do I think about it overall? This is a 2016 Tesla Model S 90D. And I have to say, for a car like this, oh my god, this car is so fast. For a non-performance car, it is bloody fast. It's not a perfect car. Everyone thinks Teslas are absolutely perfect and they don't come with their own costs, but you'd be wrong. They do indeed have flaws, which I'm gonna point out in this video. Now this car is an older car from 2016, as I told you. It has 63,000 miles, so it's been used, but it's not as used as you would think. 63,000 for a car like this is pretty low miles. It's pretty good, but you still get the feeling, you still know this is an older car, and you're reminded by one of the flaws and drawbacks of this particular vehicle. Not in terms of Teslas in general, but in terms of getting an older Tesla. The battery degradation really does have an effect on how far you can drive this. This has a range of 295 miles of range on 100% full-blown charge. However, because of battery degradation, even with your light driving, even if I don't floor it like this, the battery degradation depletes faster, even when you normal drive. When I don't drive it like an asshole, I lose 2 miles every mile. So it's not as accurate as you want it to be. Something I learned from this journey: if I were to get a Tesla, I would get a new one, or at the very least a 1 to 2 year old Tesla that's very low miles. The lower the miles, the better, because that means the less likely the battery has degraded. So that's something I learned. Next up on the list, that was a problem. Temporarily, it's not anymore, but it was a pain in the ass on the way up to St. Augustine, was the air conditioning. We supercharged it at a Wawa, and we sat there for an hour to give it 100% charge, because we were like, no, we want the most miles, and we don't want to have to stop again. And this kind of eats into the degradation problem. You kind of notice the degradation problem on this point. But on top of that, the AC was not working when we hit the road after we charged to 100%, and it freaked us out. And we thought, oh, well, maybe if we step out of the car, walk away, and get back in, the AC will fix itself. Never did. And so for the first hour and a half, we literally had to roll the windows down because all it did was blow out hot air. So that was definitely an annoyance. But we got blessed, and we got AC back, so it no longer became an issue. And it hasn't been since. However, it was a very annoying situation to be in, to have no AC. And then that leaves into another, a third problem. That's not, it's like a minor complaint, but depending on who you are, you can live with this. This goes for this particular Tesla, not the Model 3. And that is not enough cup holders. There is one down here, there's two down here, and it's on the center console, and you can move the center console forward and back to adjust it, but it covers the cup holders. But there's two right here, and then there's one big one in the center, like way down there underneath a little tray. That's it. There's none in the door. There's none in the doors like there are in my car, and there's none for the second row passengers, which that's a big, if I had more than just me and Noah, it would have been a problem, but thankfully it wasn't. But it is a complaint to complain about. Fourth issue, and this kind of leads into the same problem that I had with the battery degradation, but it's kind of like a part 2 to it. But even when you get the maxed out 100% battery charged, it's not gonna be enough. The little plug-in mobile connector that you get with this car is not enough to give you a full charge. So we didn't want to take any risk and run out of juice, so we had to stop one more time to be safe, and we charged it to about 80-90% to be safe, and we had to sit there, and we had to do it twice. That was kind of a setback. I mean, we made great memories, and it was great to stop, take a break. It wasn't too much of an inconvenience. However, it wasn't ideal, especially considering when you can get a gasoline car and fuel it up in 2 minutes and be back on the road before you know it. And you only have to do it probably once on a road trip, like the kind that we did. The kind of road trip we did, you could probably fill up a car once and make it all the way there and be fine. So it was kind of an inconvenience. We made it count. We watched some YouTube videos. We relaxed. We took our time getting to my papa's place. This is the 5th nitpick. Traveling. If you plan on owning an older Tesla to travel and you're doing a lot of traveling miles, I would especially not recommend it. Because at that point, you're literally risking stopping multiple times, because we stopped twice to drive 170 miles. That's all we drove, was 170 miles there, and we had to stop twice. So if you have to drive out of state, you'll have to stop 3-4 times just to leave the state. It's not ideal. It may be great deals, but think twice about it, because this battery degradation, if you're doing traveling, will not be ideal for you. If you're daily driving, it's not a problem, and you'll be able to own it, and it's a great deal. I would honestly say get a newer Tesla, a 1, 2, maybe even new Tesla, Model 3, Model Y, whatever, and just drive it from new, so that way you can really utilize that battery, because the range will be best when it's a newer car. The 6th and final complaint that I have is autopilot. I enjoyed autopilot. However, this is something that really bothered me. Autopilot system did not work for the remaining of the trip. I think I got the car on Thursday. Autopilot stopped working halfway through Saturday. And that meant the trip all the way home, I had to drive like a normal car, which is fine. I like driving, so I don't mind being in control of the car and doing the work. However, it kind of sucked because I had to sit in traffic and constantly control it. Whereas if I had autopilot on the way home, it would have been so much more convenient, and it should have been working, but it wasn't, and it did bother me as well. But keep it in mind in case you're planning on getting an older Tesla. You know, despite all the negatives, there were positives. First thing, the power of this car is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's fun. Second thing is the navigation system works phenomenally great. The touchscreen is. Third thing, the touchscreen is just huge. It's absolutely massive. Fourth thing, this car is so practical. There's back seat space. There's a big hatchback trunk in the back. There's a frunk. This car is practical when it comes to carrying things, and it's great. Fifth thing, the ride is so comfortable. So smooth and comfortable. It is not the comfiest. The comfiest car I've ever driven was a Mercedes-Benz S-Class 2018. That was the smoothest, floatiest, comfiest ride I've ever been in my entire life. But other than that, this is probably the comfiest car I've ever rode in that drove the best. Mercedes and then this, I would say. Top two for sure. This is an amazing driving car. Oh, and that leads into my next thing. The installation in this car is great. You hear a little bit of wind noise because this is an electric car and there's not much other noises going on, but it is quiet in this car and I don't have to yell to talk to you guys. If I was in my Suburban, I'd be yelling at you to talk to you guys because all the wind noise and the road noise is very tamed in this car. The wind noise is okay, but it's the road noise that's worse. So overall, this is a great car. Despite the flaws, I think Teslas are still the best electric car to get overall. It's been a great daily driver, and I'm sad that I'm returning it right now as we're recording this. It's time, and I've had a blast. Makes me want to get a newer car now. Woo-hoo-hoo! Frick! I didn't even floor it. That was amazing. I don't know if that picks up on camera, but anyhow, I hope you guys have an idea of what I was talking about, because overall this was a great car, and I know there was a lot of negatives I pointed out in this car, but I just want to remind you guys that not every car is going to be perfect. That's all this video is about. It's not a hate. Remember, this is not a hate video for the Tesla Model S 2016. it is a reminder that if you get one, especially 2016 or anywhere that's older, to just be mindful and aware that this is an older electric car and it's not going to be perfect. It's going to have flaws, it's going to have drawbacks, but you just have to know what you're walking into. Because other than that, overall, everything else was great. The speakers, the comfort, the sunroof, the speed. It was a blast. Shout out to Turo and the guy named Ken. You're great. You were so easy to work with. I appreciate you. You were my first time ever renting a car, so thank you for making my first time renting a car so buttery, easy, and smooth. That's also what made this journey really great, was the owner of this car helping me get this car and making it easy on me. So, thank you for that, Ken, if you're watching this video for some reason. If you are, thank you. And I'm gonna miss this car overall, despite those flaws that y'all heard me complain about. By the way, don't let those flaws take away from buying this car, because this car is still a phenomenal driving car. We're still not there with electric EVs yet, but I think Tesla is the closest to unlocking that potential, and Tesla is the closest to making EVs normal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumb up, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Just be mindful that I'm not always gonna be able to upload, but I'm gonna upload whenever there's new content. I promise you that. Whether that's once a month, once every 2 weeks, once every few months, I promise you more is coming. Even if it doesn't feel like it, I promise. Just be patient. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. It was a great experience, and I hope to rent another car on Turo again, and maybe even one just for fun, just so I can review more cars for you guys out there. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to watch part 1, basically, it was about me getting the car and scaring the shit out of my mom. That was fun. I'll insert the clip right here.
All
right.
I'm gonna have to scream. Oh shit! Oh shit! That's pretty crazy.
And it was a blast. It was a blast scaring her, and I know she had a great time in this Tesla. She thought it was a great, beautiful looking car. She enjoyed the ride. She enjoyed the power. Surprised her, but it made great content, and it was so nice to have the car for a few days. Everyone was checking it out in my family. Also, subscribe to my music channel, Slim J, all caps. Go show love on that. I got new music on the way as well. So we got a lot going on. I'll catch you guys in a new video. Peace out, guys. This car is amazing. Woo! Wow. Definitely gonna do this again. This is Logan's Vlogs and Cars. That was so corny.